Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Linguist Library. Today, I want to talk about this masterpiece, Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. If you like books, words, and all that sort of thing, please like and subscribe. This might be the channel for you. So, my edition is a really affordable Wordsworth Classic edition. I like to buy these when I am trying out an author to see if I like them. They are super affordable. This was perfect for this size of a book. I recently read War and Peace also with this edition and the same translator. So I have the Maude translation. This is obviously a much easier book, but if you are interested in War and Peace at all, go check that out. I really love that book. It changed my life. It's become one of the top 10 books, one of the best, one of my favorite top 10 ever. War and Peace. And Tolstoy has absolutely cemented himself as a master among masters, in my opinion. So let's get to it. Let's talk about this book because it has an iconic opening line that I have got to read because it captures everything about it, really. So listen to this. All happy families resemble one another, but each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. So, this is a book about the pursuit of happiness in many ways. We follow a couple different households. The main character, Anna Karenina, we meet her when she is going to her brother's house, who is basically the male version of Anna Karenina. And this is something that Tolstoy explores a lot. So he uses him, in my opinion, as a doppelganger to portray how society is willing to deal with men and women and how differently they are treated. So the foreshadowing on this book, oh my God, let's talk about it. I mean, does it prepare you for the tragic end? No, I'm gonna say no, just because I was really attached. But it should have prepared me because it was done really well. The signs were all there. But yeah, let's talk about the metaphors because Tolstoy's prose, by the time he wrote this, was just far superior than War and Peace. I liked War and Peace better, and it remains one of my top 10. But let's talk about his prose. He uses a lot less adverbs here. If you want to play a if you want to play a game with me one day, go back to War and Peace and try to find out how many times he uses evidently in the first 8 or 7 books. It's literally like twice on every page. It's insane. I kept thinking of Ernest Hemingway, The Road to Hell is Paved with Adverbs, when I was reading that book. This doesn't happen here. His prose is far superior and a lot smoother. He still takes his time, but I think he does so intentionally. So if we talk about, for example, we talk about Levin's time farming. If you look at the conversation that Levin was having with his brother at the time that he goes on to sow the fields, you will understand that that's strategic. That's the kind of format that frames. This is really my man being subtle. This is Tolstoy being subtle here because if you really pay attention, what he's trying to say is that the biggest progress in society do not take place in ballrooms and chatting rooms with lofty ideas. They take place when you get your hands dirty and you end up finding or inventing a tool that is going to save people hours and or minutes or however it is that you're improving life. It is always going to be through hard work. He really tried to emphasize how physical work is important and healthy. And yeah, I think he did that intentionally. I could be wrong. So, one thing I didn't mention in my last reviews is his fondness for puns. A lot of his characters' names have different meanings, so he's puns for days. Yeah, there's a lot less footnotes on this book, but it was still very cool to see those little little humorous throws in there. So let's talk about Verensky, the smallest man who ever lived. If you get the Taylor Swift reference, God bless you. But if you don't, allow me to explain. So Verensky is this charming man who wants to make a name for himself in society and just does not know when to stop. Doesn't know when to stop with his mare and doesn't know when to stop with his women either. And he just love bombs Anna until she falls for him. And literally, the word fall here cannot be understressed. She falls from grace because she was married and she leaves her son and her husband to be with Rensky, has his love child, and she is ostracized by society, which was expected at the time. And she can't get a divorce because her husband will not give it to her. So this is a strong criticism of how women were treated at the time. At least that's how I perceived it. And I think that that's what Anna's brother and his brother's character sort of tries to show. But the real character, the real main character of this novel, let's be honest, is Laska, the dog. Levin's dog, Laska. I was in love with her. For me, she is the main character. I don't care what you tell me. But no, Tolstoy took me hunting as he did in War and Peace, and it was amazing because he just really knows how to take you by the hand, and then you will embark on an adventure with him, no doubt about it. But yeah, the ending is really quite tragic. So he prepares you for it. The foreshadowing should have given you enough so that you're not that surprised and not that shocked. But I thought it was interesting how the characters also expected it. They kind of saw it coming too, and they, not that they got over it really quickly, but they, yeah, like I said, they really just they saw it coming and they weren't surprised by it at all. So that was interesting to see, if a little painful, but yeah, I guess you harvest what you sow. I think that's a that's a good line for this book, considering the amount of farming. But yeah. So the second part of this video is actually something that I've been looking forward to for a while. It's Framed in September, which is an amazing project created by some of my favorite YouTubers, including Hannah from Hannah Reads. I saw her video first and I volunteered immediately because this is a month that we're dedicating to the arts, and I love art and all sorts of art events. I want to give a little plug. I want to give a little shout out to Nuit Blanche, which is an event that happens in a lot of major European cities, and it's now happening in Toronto and lots of Canadian cities as well. But Nuit Blanche is an entire evening dedicated to the arts. So you have a lot of visual art, you have a lot of artists in general, musicians, street performers, and it's an entire night dedicated to just spending time with art and artists. And you walk around and you eat good food and you get to experience art. So if you are in any of these cities that are having these events, Nuit Blanche, I know that there's one coming up on the 5th of October in Toronto, And I think the one in Paris was in June. But watch out for next year because I believe this is going to be the 23rd. Next year's will be the 23rd year of Nuit Blanche in Paris. So it's an amazing event. But the first prompt for Framed in September is actually books because, well, that's what we do over here. And the book that I want to recommend is none other than Matisse and Picasso by the amazing Françoise Gilot. Now, Françoise Gilot is an artist herself, and she's incredible, but she was also Picasso's partner and muse for a very long time. This book, she talks about their rivalry slash friendship, and I loved it. I loved every bit of this. I'm fascinated by colors and by shapes, and these guys are masters of that revolution of color and shape. Basically, Matisse and Picasso. But no, she details this period of time that she was with Picasso and Picasso met Matisse. There's another book that details her life with Picasso in depth, but this one is she focuses between their friendship. She focuses on their friendship more than anything, and she it's very interesting because she herself is an artist, and the competition between the three of them is ever present in the backdrop of this book, as well as the war. It was 1947, I believe, when they first met. She tells the story of when they first met, when Picasso took her to meet Matisse. Matisse was much older than Picasso, and Picasso had a lot of respect for Matisse. Matisse also respected Picasso, obviously, but Matisse was older. And so in this particular day that Picasso takes her to meet Matisse, Matisse decides to paint her. And it's so beautiful the way that they go through colors and what colors mean. And Picasso hadn't actually painted her, even though they were together as a couple. And he only decided to paint her after Matisse had painted her. And it was amazing because Matisse sketched her on the spot and then gave it to them and dedicated it to her. And it was a very interesting moment. She was very moved, and I was moved reading it. But yeah, it's an amazing book. They say that you shouldn't always meet your heroes, and this is one of those cases. I did not know Picasso wasn't una brava persona. He wasn't a great partner. You will hate him by page 30 because of what he does to her. So trigger warnings for domestic violence. But she's a really strong woman, and she wrote this years later after much reflection, and you can tell that she's healed. So it really didn't play too much of a part in the book itself. It's really about art and about these artists and about how they revolutionized form and color. So it's perfect for Framed in September, and it's just a beautiful book. Look at this hardcover. I mean, there's just not enough books that are pink out there, honestly. And this beautiful shimmery color. There are just, so many sketches and portraits in the book that you can see. There's a lot of Matisse, as you can expect, but there's some Picasso as well, and a lot of Françoise Gilot's own work. So it's perfect for Framed in September. If you have a chance, do go to Nuit Blanche, but if you don't, I'm gonna share a little secret from my from my dating days. Way back when I used to go on dates, I always prioritized anything to do with the arts, because even if the date went poorly or the relationship ended, I still spent the evening in the presence of greatness. So I've been known to take my love interest to the opera, to the ballet, to many expositions or live music. Love live music because, yeah, that's just, you know, if all else fails, that's a tongue twister, you still spend the evening um, in a pleasant way with the arts and with greatness. So, these two books were amazing and they were the perfect summer read. I love these. I read this earlier, but I'm rereading it now just because of the art part. I had to I took a little course and I came back to try to learn more because I just want to absorb anything that she has to tell me. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for staying until the end. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video if you like this review, and give these books a go. They are amazing, okay? This, of course, requires no introduction. It is a masterpiece, classic, completely worth your time. And yeah, Françoise Gilot, an amazing artist who you can learn a lot from if you're interested. But if not, this is just an amazing book about really important figures in the art world that you may be interested in. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.